Hey, everybody, welcome to PEPTalk, the podcast that helps you get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We take these complex medical and healthcare conversations, make them super simple, give you the knowledge, give you the action steps, which is the wisdom to apply that knowledge to your life, and helps you get to the map, the keys in the car of how to drive things. We talk about new studies that are out, new breakthroughs in technology. We talk about advancements in physiological performance enhancing techniques and all the latest in biohacking. I'm your host, Dr. Eric Nepute, and today we're going to go down the journey of a new study that just recently came out that I think is really amazing on a nutraceutical formula that I'm a huge fan of. I'm standing behind this formula. You guys know I don't care where you buy your products and supplements and etc. I just know that I recommend what works for me and my patients. And I want to talk to you today about this study that was just published just this last week. And it's about a nutraceutical formula called Master Microbiotics. You guys know that I talk about leaky gut all the time. Leaky gut issues are main causes of chronic inflammation. Almost every digestive problem, including gas, bloating, distension, constipation, diarrhea, heartburn, all those things you can think of. If you have Crohn's, colitis, IBD, IBS, any of that stuff, it's all from chronic leaky gut syndrome. If you have skin issues, if you have allergies, anxiety, depression, insomnia, you know, you've heard me say sore, stiff joints, headaches, migraines, fatigue, anxiety, depression, insomnia, all those things are contributing factors to leaky gut. That's why Hippocrates said, first fix the gut and all things fall into place. Well, I have so many questions from so many of our listeners about what type of prebiotic, what type of probiotic, what type of postbiotic, what do I recommend? Well, first of all, you need to get more fiber in your diet right out of the gate. You got to get that in your diet. 95% of people that eat the standard American diet, which is almost every westernized culture now, is not getting enough fiber. 95% are deficient in it. So having more vegetables is really important. What are fibers? You know, an apple a day keeping the doctor away. You know where that comes from? It's the fiber and it's the enzyme called pectinase, by the way, in that apple, but it's the fiber. Acai gum fiber is amazing. Vegetable fiber is amazing. Watch the fruit fiber because a lot of that has a lot of sugar with it. The fiber helps the body, you know, absorb the sugar so it doesn't go into the bloodstream as much, but you got to increase your fiber. Most of you aren't getting enough. Number two, you have to have the right probiotic. Now, let's talk about probiotics for a minute. Probiotics are the bacteria that live in and on our body. They're bacteria, they're funguses, they're all these things, right? And we have to have a balance. Everything in life is about homeostasis. It's a balance of all those things. And man, for years, I've used what is known as cultured-based probiotics. Those are the majority of the probiotics that are out there on the market today. And most of those products are in a capsule that's a powder, right? Or you can get a powder form and put in a water or a shake or something like that. My experience is, number one, the delivery system of those is not very good. And the majority of those bacteria are not living bacteria whenever you ingest those. So it doesn't help as well as it really should if it was a living bacteria. And you guys know I also talk about eating a lot of fermented foods. I'm a big fan of sauerkraut, kombucha, fermented vegetables. Those are so important for people to consume on a regular basis, right? Even sourdough bread has a fermentation process to it. But most of us don't get enough of those bacteria in our body, which leads to leaky gut syndrome. And then postbiotics. Well, postbiotics are one of the best ways you can biohack the body to get postbiotics is taking a butyric acid supplement, eating butyrate, having things like ghee butter that has a lot of butyric acid in it, grass-fed dairy products, things of that nature. But I want to talk to you today about a study that was just released. And this study, it's a cohort observational study. It looks at the efficacy and safety of a formula called Master Microbiotics. And it talks about the gut microbiome, which is a crisis in industrialized civilizations. And we talk also about the lessons that we get from the blue zones that are out there. And the blue zones are areas of the world where people live to be centurions. They live to be 100 years or older. They're not just living, they're thriving. Most of them are working. A lot of them still have great relationships. It really is quite amazing. If you've been to places like Sardinia, Okinawa, Japan, even places in California, other areas of the world have this. And what they found is the several problems that people have. Number one, they have diet issues. Okay. They don't have a diet that's rich in whole foods. They don't have enough plant based foods. They don't eat enough fermented foods. Their lifestyle is filled with stress. They're physically inactive. Um, they don't have a community purpose. They're not taking the right supplements. They have digestive problems like bloatiness, gas, distension, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, autoimmune issues like rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's, MS, lupus, even type 1 diabetes is autoimmune. They have chronic inflammation. They have nutritional deficiencies because they don't absorb their nutrients and vitamins or minerals because of the compromised lining of the gut. They have skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, and acne. They have mental issues like anxiety, depression, and brain fog. Other conditions are like allergies, asthma, chronic fatigue, and migraines. I mean, people who have leaky gut have those problems. So I want to talk a little bit about this study. And what this study did was it took the fungi and the nutrients that are typically found in those blue zones and put it into a prebiotic. They used cultured bacteria. The cultured bacteria, sorry, they used spore-based bacteria, which is different than the cultured bacteria. The spore-based bacteria, we all know it's stronger, it's more resilient, has a better chance of cultivating in the GI tract. The problem is that the spore-based bacteria has a difficult time getting past the digestive tract, past the stomach acids into the small intestine, where it's supposed to culture, thrive, and grow. Well, this technology that's used in this formula is called phytomicroencapsulation. It's a global patented technology that takes that microbe, that bacteria, and it wraps it with a powder coating. And the powder coating, it uses 3 layers of powder coating, and the powder coating are different types of plant-based botanicals. That's the phyto component to it. And every one of those bacteria, the powder coating on the outside is supposed to break down at a specific pH, so that when we eat the bacteria, when we take the supplement, it goes in the stomach. That first layer is strong enough to start to break down a little in the stomach, but it gets past the stomach into the small intestine, where the pH is a little bit less acidic. Then it sits in the intestine, and that second and third layer break down, and then it adheres to the intestinal tract. It doesn't go into the bloodstream, it goes into the intestinal tract, and it actually sits there and it cultures. This study they did fecal samples before and after for their patients, and they found that 100% of the people in this study, they looked at 32 people in this study, they looked at 30 people aging between the ages of 32 and 74. All participants completed a health history assessment and a symptom survey prior to the study. They did a comprehensive metabolic profile and CBC were conducted before, and they did fecal samples before and after as well, because they wanted to see what kind of bacteria was in there. The formula for the probiotic contained Lactobacillus acidophilus, Bifidobacterium bifidum, Lactobacillus rhamnosus, Bifidobacterium longum, Bifidobacteria cci, Bifidobacteria breve, and Saccharomyces boulardii. It also had a prebiotic. It used inulin and FOS, which is fructose galactosaccharides, which is the FOS. It's a part of the powder coating. And what they did was they measured these patients, and they measured their zonulin levels, okay, pre and post. They measured the fecal sample pre and post, and they measured blood pre and post to make sure that there were no problems. So the result of the 6-week study is that 100% of the individuals had shown an improvement of that bacteria. Those bacteria that are normally in the blue zones were now present in the fecal samples of the individuals that took these products. By the way, why is that important? It's important to note that bacteria gets past the stomach, into the GI tract, sits in the small intestine, and then cultures. That's why they could see it in the fecal samples. They did see a reduction in zonulin in 7 of the individuals in the study, which is one of the markers for leaky gut, which is pretty amazing. There were no signs of toxicity. There were no changes in the comprehensive metabolic or the CBC, which means that the safety profile is pretty good. And for those of you that say, hey, 30 people is not a very robust study, I would agree more people would be nice. But remember, The pharmaceutical industry has now set the gold standard when they used 8 rats for measuring, for benefits of COVID booster shots. Okay, they didn't even study them on people; they looked at rats. So yes, I agree. More studies are going to need to be done, but these are already products that are generally recognized as safe. These are nutrients that are already used globally. It's the delivery system that really seems to make a big difference with this. So the results of the study showed the fecal examination, post-fecal analysis showed 100% of the participants had cultured amounts of beneficial bacteria present that are present in the Master Microbiotic Formula. That's huge. That means it gets in, it works. I'm sorry, 2/3, not 7, 2/3 of the participants who were tested positive for zonulin, actually, sorry, 2/3 of the participants who tested positive for zonulin pre-study showed significant reduction of zonulin post-study. That's huge. That's a marker that we use in functional medicine for leaky gut. Subjective assessment, no negative side effects were reported. So nobody had any bloatiness, gas, nauseousness, any of that stuff. Patients experienced anecdotally an increase in energy. Many reported decrease in gastrointestinal discomfort, reduction in bloating, reduction in gas, reduction in heartburn, and improvement in overall well-being and improvement of energy. Several participants also showed improvements of acne and other skin conditions, which makes sense because if the gut is causing skin issues, obviously that's it. The discussion says results suggested that the Master Microbiotic Formula is effective in promoting gut health and overall wellness with no reported adverse effects. The phytomicro encapsulation technology used in the formula ensures effective delivery and colonization of the probiotic in the gut. Those are powerful things to understand. The conclusion of it says Master Microbiotic Formula appears to be safe and effective supplement in improving gut health and overall wellness. Long-term studies are recommended to validate these findings and explore the potential long-term benefits of this formula. I agree 100%. That's why I think long-term studies should be done all the time. It does go into the different types of bacteria and does show the peer-reviewed research and ingredients on all the ingredients. By the way, Lactobacillus acidophilus, many safety studies. Safety of this has been done in clinical infectious disease magazines, in the current clinical allergy and clinical immunology magazine, bifidobacterium safe, lactobacillus. They go through all of the ingredients and show the safety and efficacy of those. So that's a very powerful tool. The conclusion on this was that the Master Microbiotic Formula combines a powerful blend of probiotics, prebiotics, and supportive ingredients, each backed by peer-reviewed research demonstrating their safety and efficacy. And the 6-week observational cohort study confirms the formula's effectiveness in promoting gut health and overall wellness without adverse effects. Again, another powerful tool that you can use. The advanced phytomicro encapsulation technology ensures the probiotic reaches the small intestine where it can be colonized and exert their benefits systemically in the body. The study's fecal examination demonstrates that the participants had cultured amounts of the beneficial bacteria post-study, proving the effectiveness of colonization, which is a big deal to be able to show that it's effective in what it does. Additionally, signifying reductions in zonulin levels amongst 2/3 of the participants indicated improved the gut barrier functionality, aka leaky gut improved. And the whole idea of if self-care is the new healthcare, then this is just another way for you to be able to take care of yourself. By the way, remember that your gut bacteria being balanced also signals to about 24 of your genes in your body to fire like they're supposed to. So again, knowing your genetic profile will allow you to customize the lifestyle secondary towards improving this. So I thought this was great. This is a really great study. More studies obviously need to be done, but to be honest with you, I don't know too many studies that have been done on particular products themselves, especially microbiome products that help with leaky gut. So look, I just wanted to do a quick hit for you guys because a lot of you are asking me, what do I recommend for probiotics? This is what I recommend. This, I take this, my family takes this. I recommend this for my patients as well. Look, as long as you have a bacteria that can colonize in your intestinal tract, that can help lower zonulin levels, that can help with, the systemic effects of leaky gut syndrome, help restore normal bacteria to your body. I'm all about that. There are other options that are out there. My job is as a researcher, is to go out and find out the ones that I feel are beneficial and come here and tell you guys about it. So, tag me on this. If you're using this formula, the Master Microbiotic Formula, I want to know what your thoughts are. How do you feel? What are you noticing? What's different? What's changed with you? Tag me on social media with all that kind of stuff as well. All right, folks, I wanted to just do a quick hit on that. So look, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Pep Talk. Make sure you go back and watch this, rewatch this. We'll attach the study to this podcast as well, so you guys can go and actually look at that study a little bit more in depth. And the white paper on it's pretty in depth, and it has a lot of the science and data behind it. But listen, knowledge is power, but taking that knowledge and applying it to your life is the key to wisdom. And we all want to be happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, it starts with knowledge. So folks, make sure you guys go to our website. That's PEPTalk.com, PEPTalk.com. Like, share, subscribe, tag me on social media, share this with your friends and family. And remember, folks, until we meet again, I'm Dr. Eric Nepute. God bless you. God bless America, and God bless the world. Stay smart out there, folks. And I'll see you on the next episode. Be well.